Ayesha and Steph Curry were in the Queen City today to open their Sweet July cafe inside the Ritz. Expect delicious smoothies and matcha, folded sandwiches like falafel and steak, and some beautiful pastries. Definitely check it out next time you're in Uptown.
There's a moment right before something opens for the first time. The lights are on. The floors are spotless. The smell of fresh pastry is already drifting into the street. And somewhere inside, a woman who once left Charlotte with nothing but a dream is walking through the doors of the thing she built, knowing that in less than 48 hours, the whole city is going to see it too. This is that moment, and it belongs to Ayesha Curry. On Monday, July 20th, something quietly massive is about to happen in the heart of Uptown Charlotte. Not a basketball game, not a press conference, a cafe. But don't let that word fool you. Because what's opening inside the Ritz-Carlton is the culmination of years of ambition, heartbreak, reinvention, and a bet that Ayesha Curry has been making on herself since long before anyone outside of Charlotte knew her name. Let's rewind. Because to understand why this moment matters, you have to understand what came before it. Ayesha Curry is not just the wife of a four-time NBA champion. She is a chef, a cookbook author, a Food Network personality, a businesswoman who has spent over a decade trying to build something entirely, unmistakably hers. And it hasn't always gone the way the headlines make it look. Back in Oakland, she opened her first Sweet July store and cafe with enormous fanfare, a beautiful space built around community, culture, and comfort. It was supposed to be the beginning of an empire. Then, only a few years later, it closed. Safety concerns forced her to shut the doors, and around the same time, another one of her restaurant ventures in Las Vegas was also folding. For a moment, it looked like the Sweet July dream might be over before it truly began. But here's the thing about people who refuse to quit. They don't disappear. They regroup. Ayesha didn't walk away from Sweet July. She rebuilt it. Quietly, strategically, she found her way back, opening a new cafe in Santa Monica this past May, testing the concept again, refining it, proving that the idea still had life in it. And now, just weeks later, she isn't just opening another location. She's bringing Sweet July home, in a sense, to the city where her husband became a legend. Because this isn't just any city. This is Charlotte. Steph Curry's Charlotte. The place where he first picked up a basketball with real purpose, where his name still means something deeply personal to an entire community. And now, his wife is planting her flag right in the middle of it, inside one of the most prestigious hotels in the city, the Ritz-Carlton on East Trade Street. This is not a coincidence. This is a statement. Sweet July Cafe is opening as the first of two major businesses the Currys are bringing into that building. Ayesha's Cafe arrives first, and right behind it, later this winter, comes Steph's own venture, a bourbon-forward cocktail lounge called the Eighth Rule. Two completely different concepts, two completely different energies, but one shared vision, built by a husband and wife who are no longer content just being famous. They want to build something that outlasts the spotlight. So what exactly is about to open? Picture this. It's early morning in Uptown Charlotte. The cafe doors open at 6:30, and already there are grab-and-go treats calling out from the counter, coconut chia seed pudding, overnight oats, and pastries that look like they belong in a Parisian window, not a hotel lobby. A strawberry shortcake croissant, a creme brulee Danish, a cinnamon roll inspired by bananas Foster. This is not typical hotel breakfast fare. This is personal. This is Ayesha's fingerprint on every single item on that menu. And it goes deeper than pastries. Ayesha didn't just create a menu. She poured her heritage into it. Her Caribbean roots run through the food like a signature. There are pita foldies, warm sandwiches inspired by Jamaican cocoa bread, smash burgers built with intention, and Jamaican beef patties that carry generations of flavor in every bite. Locally sourced ingredients tie it all back to Charlotte itself, a city she and Steph clearly still consider home in every way that matters. By lunch, the energy shifts. Seasonal salads, smash burgers, that same cocoa bread influence showing up again, reminding you this isn't a random collection of trendy items thrown together to look good on a menu board. It's cohesive. It's intentional. It's a story being told one dish at a time. And then there's dessert. Fruit-topped soft-serve sundaes. House-made chocolate treats. The kind of small, quiet indulgences that make people come back not because they have to, but because they want to. This entire concept didn't happen in isolation. Ayesha partnered with the MINA Group, the same powerhouse restaurant group behind Bourbon Steak, which is set to open later this year in that very same Ritz-Carlton. That means this hotel isn't just getting one new business. It's becoming a destination, an entire ecosystem of curry-backed hospitality rising in the middle of Uptown. Think about the scale of what's actually happening here. A cafe opening on Monday, a steakhouse coming later this year, a cocktail lounge arriving this winter, all three connected, all three carrying the curry name in one way or another. This is not a side project. This is a calculated expansion into an entirely new kind of legacy, one built not on jump shots, but on hospitality, culture, and community. And for Charlotte, the timing could not be more symbolic. Steph Curry is not just an NBA superstar who happens to be investing in real estate on the side. He is a Charlotte native, and every project he and Ayesha bring into this city carries weight because of where he came from. This isn't a celebrity slapping their name on a building for a paycheck. This is a homecoming wrapped in croissants and cold brew and Caribbean-inspired flavor, unfolding right in the heart of the city that shaped him. So on Monday morning, when those doors finally open at 201 East Trade Street, know that you're not just watching a cafe launch. You're watching the next chapter of a story that started with heartbreak in Oakland, found its footing again in Santa Monica, and is now planting its most meaningful roots yet in Charlotte. The tables are set, the pastries are ready, and Ayesha Curry, once again, is proving that setbacks were never the end of her story. They were simply the setup for this moment. Sweet July Cafe opens Monday, July 20th, 7 days a week, right inside the Ritz-Carlton in Uptown Charlotte. Weekday hours run from 6:30 in the morning until 8 at night, while weekends open a little later, at 7, closing at that same 8 o'clock mark. And if you're picturing something small, tucked away in a corner of a lobby, think again. This is being positioned as an all-day destination, designed to hold its own against the energy of one of Charlotte's most recognizable luxury hotels. Landing a business like Sweet July inside those walls says something about how far Ayesha's brand has come since those early, uncertain days in Oakland. There's a reason this story deserves your attention beyond the pastries and the smash burgers. It's a reminder that comebacks rarely look the way you expect them to. Ayesha didn't return with a massive announcement or a flashy relaunch. She returned quietly, first with Santa Monica, and now she's stepping onto a much bigger stage with the confidence of someone who has already weathered the hard part. And Charlotte is watching closely, because this isn't just about food. It's about what the Currys represent to this city. Every time Steph's name gets mentioned in a highlight reel, there's an unspoken connection back to Charlotte, to where it all started for him. Now that connection is becoming physical, something people can walk into and taste for themselves. Later this year, when Bourbon Steak opens under the MINA Group, and when winter brings the 8th Rule's first bourbon cocktail, this single hotel will have transformed into a small universe built entirely around the Curry name. So on Monday morning, when those doors finally open at 201 East Trade Street, know that you're not just watching a cafe launch. You're watching the next chapter of a story that started with heartbreak in Oakland, found its footing again in Santa Monica, and is now planting its most meaningful roots yet in Charlotte. The tables are set, the pastries are ready, and Ayesha Curry, once again, is proving that setbacks were never the end of her story. They were simply the setup for this moment. If this soft opening is any indication of what's coming next, this is only the beginning.